Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're diving into a conspiracy theory. And we're talking about the Bohemian Grove Club, which is not a conspiracy theory, but there are conspiracy theories about it.
And specifically our own conspiracy theories about it, because the very few that I could find were stupid.
I definitely
so
have my own. Amber and I were discussing. We have two different conspiracy theories, which is why there's two of us. Which is why I love it, because we always come at it with two different things.
Exactly, and it's so nice. So if you don't know about Bohemian Grove, for one, that's what made Alex Jones famous back in the 90s.
I read that.
There, and he videotaped Bill Clinton and several other high-up members of the elite society performing witchcraft rituals. And nobody says it that way, but when a witch reads what they were doing, that's a witchcraft ritual. And so it is a club out in the Pacific Northwest. I guess not the Pacific Northwest, because it's outside of San Francisco. So it's in the woods outside of San Francisco in California, and there's redwoods all around there, because when some president was being initiated into the club, they actually flew out to Washington DC some of the boughs from the redwoods from the grounds of the club to do his initiation in this great big ass ballroom in fucking Washington DC, which I just thought that was how fucking extra 1947.
I am sorry.
Because it was that kind of long ago. I don't remember what president it was.
There was
but
Theodore
it was Eisenhower or somebody.
I would like to apologize for my outburst when you said Alex Jones.
We're not going further there.
No,
I'm just
I am apologizing for laughing about it. So I apologize.
Okay,
that's where I'm going with that.
I just feel if we don't mention it, people are going to be you guys don't know what you're talking about. You didn't say anything. You
looked kind of I didn't know if I offended you or not. So I apologize, because I
don't care one way or the other. I wasn't really going to go into anything further about him, but
I watched the video. Did you watch the video? It's on YouTube. Because he got the video of
what they were doing out there. Yeah. I have previously, but I didn't go rewatch it.
That was the first time I watched it. It reminded me of, what is that fucking movie? Blair Witch Project. That's what it reminds me of.
I can understand that, because it's the same.
It's recorded with a hand, with a hand cam.
Out there trying not to be seen doing the recording. But
from what I understand, he just walked in there.
Yeah.
Because you can visit during the day. That's the thing. During the day, they have, women and children.
They come visit. But, to my understanding, you can't just, walk up on there. Mm-hmm. You have to be invited to be a guest on the grounds. I don't think it's open to the public. No. It's just prior to, and there's certain, they have a 2-week-long summer festival, which is really where most of the conspiracy theories come from. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, I was wondering, who invited him there?
He didn't. He literally snuck in there, yeah.
And, to me, that's kind of funny, crazy. But also, we'll talk about that later, because he became a willing sacrifice in that moment. But I just know, or I assume, that some of our listeners, when we do conspiracy theory episodes and we just mostly talk about what we want to, they're but you didn't even mention this, or you didn't even mention that. Now, guys, half the time we don't mention it because we kind of assume that everybody knows that about that one conspiracy theory, and assumptions are bad. We totally understand that. But when we're talking about a conspiracy theory, we want to talk about what we want to talk about with it. And if you want to hear what other people have to say about it, there is thousands of other podcasts.
I'm sure there are so many other podcasts that have discussed this.
So you can listen to us and the other ones and see the full, well-rounded.
And you can watch the video on YouTube.
Yeah,
you can watch the video.
It's public out there. I mean, it made him famous. I just, I don't know.
I was surprised to learn that too. When I read his name, I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then I was surprised to learn that. I was not expecting that going into this.
I had forgotten about that going into this. I think that is probably, that might be why I first learned about Bohemian Grove. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's something that interests me, but it doesn't have it doesn't spend a lot of time rent-free in my head.
Right.
It's not something that I'm like low-key obsessed with, but I was interested in, and we haven't done a conspiracy theory for a while. And because of doing the trace trees for whatever, I thought Bohemian Grove, that goes well, even if it's only in name, because a grove of trees.
So basically what this is like a summer camp, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like Boy Scouts was used a little bit.
Right.
For really powerful fucking people, including military leaders, artists,
yes.
military leaders, former presidents,
people
that become presidents, big business owners, very rich men.
The Fortune 500 kind of business owners, like people
Tesla.
Right? Oh. Elon does not deserve to be in Bohemian Grove, but I do. Sorry.
I do. Well, you're a woman. And that brings us to
what?
Women are not allowed. Women are not allowed.
Sexist.
I read that they were recently sued because of that. In the early 2000s or the late 90s.
But you should let me in.
Now, what they were sued for, they decided, okay, we'll let female workers in. But there's no female, people that are part of the group.
Well, that are part of the group.
Yes, part of the group.
They can come as guests. Dudes can bring their girlfriends, their wives. But those ladies, they have to leave by nightfall.
That's so creepy. But, we're talking about this conspiracy theory.
Nightfall, and they have to be Audi 5000.
We're talking about this conspiracy theory. I'm going to discuss mine, and Amber will discuss hers. But I'm like, they're probably playing fantasy football. They're like, yeah, get out.
Well,
I'm spending the night with the boys.
What's funny is, I see it as we're spending a night with the boys, but it's right outside of San Francisco, and it's a bunch of people who in the public eye definitely can't admit if they have any predilection toward other men. And I totally believe that the reason that women and children aren't allowed there after nightfall is because there is a lot of hanky-panky going on with a lot of those elite gentlemen that can only get it on at Bohemian Grove, because anywhere else they might get Alex Jones'd. But I think Bohemian Grove probably upped their security after the Alex Jones thing.
So, I'm so sure. So here's my theory, if you don't mind.
No, I don't.
My theory borderlines horror movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
I do sinister with mine, but you do sadistic. And
I guess so. I truly
a little bit darker.
Okay, well, first of all, I really, truly believe these are just a bunch of men. Do I think that they're into the occult? Not necessarily. I say yes, but then I also say no.
What
I'm sorry. I think
what
stuffed
do
his
you
toe.
mean? Oh, he stuffed his toe. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't tell.
Anyway. So basically what I think is it's a group of very powerful men, business owners, everything that we just labeled. And I think they're getting all together and they're like, yeah, we're part of a fraternity. We're gonna do evil, sadistic fraternity stuff. Do I think there's human sacrifices? No, but I think there's probably a lot of rape. Or grape. I think so. I think there's probably a lot of grape. I think that... Have you seen Midsummer? I'm getting Midsummer vibes. Midsummer vibes. But not pagan-y. Just, sadistic, white... Or not even white, per se, but just sadistic, old, rich people who... oh my god, for example, oh my god, you totally fucked up and broke the rules of the Bohemian Grove. Unalived.
So, when you say what you're saying, honestly, it makes me think more Eyes Wide Shut, the Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
That.
No, but I've heard it.
It's about, these elite people, and, they have, this, everybody shows up in a mask. It's invitation only. It's
that.
yes, and, the women that are there, they are just they are the platters, you know what I mean? Like,
Literally,
they're not members.
yes. What if they eat people? They could, for all I know. They could, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But,
So,
like, anyway, you get what I mean when
yeah,
I say
I get,
like that. Like,
yeah,
that is
like,
what I think.
when you say Midsummer, I was like, but, like, the more you talked, I'm like, Eyes Wide Shut.
Or, like,
so if you guys have seen Eyes Wide Shut, you know what Maddie's
I don't know if
talking
you've
about.
seen, like, The Invitation, which is basic, or not The Invitation, but it's, like, this movie where this girl's marrying into this family, and it turns out their marriage tradition is, like, for the wedding, they hunt and kill the bride. Kind of like those vibes. Like, I actually really want to see that.
How do you procreate like that?
I have no idea.
What the fuck? Like,
but like,
what?
Or
what?
like, because if she survives the night, or if she survives something, then
she's worthy of being part of the family.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
that's kind of the vibes I'm getting.
So they try to hunt and kill her, but they're happy if she survives.
Yes.
But it's okay.
It's like proving you're worthy.
Slightly different.
I could see
still
them
horribly fucked up.
I
Don't
could
get me
see
wrong,
them
guys.
hunting people. Like, that's sort of like, oh, we're gonna go on a manly fox hunt of a fucking person. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am fucked up.
You do tend to see the darker side of things.
So,
you know,
but I'm also reading a lot of dark romance, so maybe I'm wrong.
So, like, I definitely, like, okay, so it's definitely a group of elite people, right? Like, so here's the thing about Bohemian Grove that, like, totally gets me is it's a group of elite people that meet for secret meetings that are invitation only, and it's only men. And business is not to be discussed because one of, like, their motto is web weaving spiders not come here, because the idea is you come here for socialization, not to, like, make business deals that have to do with the outside world. However, the Manhattan Project started by a meeting in Bohemian Grove. So, like, obviously business stuff happens there. Oppenheimer, too, in my remembrance, if I'm remembering correctly what I read, Oppenheimer wasn't even a member of Bohemian Grove when he got a meeting with the guys at Bohemian Grove to talk about Manhattan Project, and it came to fruition because of that happening, right? Okay, so they're secretive, but they're open about being secretive, and that's what gets me, right? Okay, so stay with me, guys. I believe that Bohemian Grove is an offshoot of the old mystery schools. So in times of old, all of the information was passed down verbally. There's nothing written down because you had to be worthy to have the information. And each step of the way, as you learned the information, you had to go through different steps of initiation and things like that until you finally learned the deepest of the mysteries, like the illusion mysteries and the mysteries that had to do with, like, Dionysic worship, and the mysteries that came even before the Greeks had their mysteries, right? And there were old mystery schools that, like, they protected their knowledge to the death, okay? So, like, there was this story about, like, long time ago, like, pre-Christian, like, pre-Christ times. These boys, they snuck into the mystery school because they're like, we're going to find out what's so special and secret about the mystery school. And the next morning, their dead bodies were found on the other side of the wall because the guys that run the mystery school had found them, and they were like, you're going to die because we told you, like, if you come in here, you're going to die, right? And so, like, because, like, I hadn't thought about them killing people or anything. I hadn't seen it as like, not... So I've seen it as nefarious, but not sinister. I definitely didn't see it as sadistic, and I still don't see it as sadistic, but I do see it as sinister because I was thinking about it, and it's like Alex Jones was a willing sacrifice. And what I mean by that is they are a mystery school, right? They share the esoteric knowledge. They share the esoteric teachings that you have to go through the initiations to get the knowledge, which means it's very secretive. It's very high level. It's very, like, not just everybody is allowed to have this information. We can't have it written down so it can't be misunderstood. So it has to be given verbally, right? So if you sneak in knowing that we're going to protect our information, knowing that we've said nobody else is allowed here, you now become a willing sacrifice. And, like, so that is the only way that I would see, like, quote unquote murders happening there, is if, like, somebody came in to steal their knowledge and they, like, were like, oh, well, you done sacrificed yourself by coming into our space. I think that most, if any, sex that's happening there is probably consensual, but I think it's also among the members of the Bohemian Grove Club. And also, like, the thing that Alex Jones caught on tape was a witchcraft ceremony. It was a ceremony. It was an ash release ceremony of burning the things that they had to let go, all the terrible shit they'd done that year, but burning that and releasing the ash to the winds. And like I told Maddie when we were talking about this behind the scenes, I was like, they are performing witchcraft because witchcraft is part of esoteric teachings. Like, it makes sense to me that, like, it is a mystery school in the ways that mystery schools used to exist. And at the same time, because it is all of the elite from not just our country, but probably other countries as well, it is a place where behind the scenes nefarious shit happens because elite people don't give a fuck about us when they're making their decisions. We're just fodder, you know, our bones are ground to make their bread.
I don't want to believe that these elite, so like for me, I'm going to use the term elite.
It works.
In my opinion, I think that they want to, I just don't believe that an elite, like, society like that would be, learning ways of old.
Oh, yes, they do.
Like,
they don't want us to know so that we don't have the power, but they practice it themselves. Like, you can find all sorts of evidence of, like, people in Hollywood that, like, have their own fucking personal astrologers because they follow the stars for their wealth.
So, personally for me, I think we've got an island situation going on with the Bohemian Grove, if you catch my drift. That's what I think it is. As for the sacrifice, because I did read and I did see the witchcraft things they're doing, I think that is, I mean, obviously it has pagan roots, but again, I think it's just powerful people wanting to be doing something crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I see it more as a group of very powerful men who do very horrific things, and unfortunately they get away with it but then again, I feel like, oh my god, do I sound like those people that are like, never mind, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't think they're vampires. I don't think they're vampires. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think that there's some island shit going on there. I really do.
I'm not saying, like, there couldn't be. I don't necessarily think that, personally. But I definitely think that, like, the reason that you find them they go there to perform rituals and have ceremonies and have all of these things that keep them powerful. And I'm sorry, but, like, when you look at witch talk, what do you find the most? Like, prosperity magic. Mm-hmm. People are always like, you can use witchcraft to make money. I think they know that.
Let's look at it this way, okay? Amber is looking into the spiritual aspect, and I suppose I'm looking more into the physical aspect of what could be going on. So, I think, because I haven't mentioned anything like that I think they're doing spiritually. I've been more talking physically. You've been more talking, no, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's spiritual, you know?
Well, like I said, no, like, because I still think that, like, they are making decisions for the world.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, that are nefarious to the rest of us, because when the elites make decisions, they don't take us into account. I just don't necessarily think that, like, there's SXT ifficking happening there. I don't know if
you know what? But
I know you do, but like, and that's like that's the main difference.
But
is like, I don't think
two different conspiracy theories, because I know that,
like, I just don't see the sadism, but I still see it as sinister, and that's what I was saying at the beginning. Is I don't necessarily think they're doing sadistic things like torturing people there, but I do think that they are making decisions that wind up, like, if you're the person who gets affected by the decisions they're making, you definitely see them as sadistic. I see them as sinister because they're not even thinking about us. So they're not even doing it from a sadistic perspective. We're just fucking fodder to them, which in itself is kind of sadistic.
Well, and I think that's where it's like two different conspiracy theories, because I know that I've read conspiracy theories similar to what I'm suggesting, but I've also read conspiracy theories similar to what you're suggesting, not necessarily with just the Bohemian Grove. The Bohemian Grove kind of falls into that category. Right. It just kind of depends on what conspiracy theory you believe, you know?
Well, and that's the great thing about the conspiracy theory episodes is, like,
do you think they're doing
if
this?
If there is a right, we don't know yet. If anybody's right in this situation,
we don't know. But, like, I mean, it's just, again, like, I just keep falling back to, like, man, personally, I just feel like we got an island situation going on. Like, people are so, but it's also not, you know what, with my conspiracy theory, though, I have to be very careful with the things that I say, because there are, trigger words that can, like, trigger the fucking YouTube and
right,
things
that's
like
why
that.
I was like,
that's why I'm like, I'm like, look, I gotta be very careful. That's why I'm saying
like,
island-like instead of everybody knows what island I'm talking about, and everybody knows.
Steineps.
What is that?
Epstein.
Oh, everybody knows what island I'm talking about. Everybody also knows
he didn't do himself in.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. But,
I don't know if that's
we're
where
on
you're
YouTube,
going,
so we have to be careful
like,
about what we say. So that's personally just my thing, you know. Like, I really do. I do. I think that, unfortunately, I have to be careful, though, because there's another word I want to say that I can't say, that I'm not going to say. I can't talk, because my conspiracy theory is just so flagged, you know what I mean?
Like, pizza? Does it have to be pizza?
But I don't think that's what it is. But it's similar along those lines.
Right,
that's my personal opinion.
And I definitely think,
I'm so glad that you got what the fuck I was trying to say.
So, let's be clear. When I say that I think it's a situation where this is a mystery school, I'm not naive enough, to believe that the type of people who now hold that esoteric knowledge, I'm not fool enough to believe that they are using it for the greater good, because I don't even think these people understand how that works. The greater good only applies to them and their friends.
Right.
So, like, when I say that they're like a mystery school, I don't mean it necessarily in a good way. Because even though, like, I'm learning about esoteric knowledge, and I'm learning about the mystery schools of old, and I'm learning about all these things, and I'm learning the way that that knowledge has been contained as well as how it's been spread, even if they might belong to the families that at some point were worthy of this knowledge, they have abused this knowledge, and they have used it for the detriment of not only humanity, but the detriment of the world in general. Manhattan Project, you know what I'm saying?
So would you use the term Illuminati for this then? Or do you think they're below the Illuminati? Because, like, for me, the Illuminati's a triangle, LOL, but, like, it's a triangle. We've got the people on the bottom, the people in the middle, and then the people on top. Would these people be the people in the middle or the people on top?
So, I don't know enough about the Illuminati to say whether or not I necessarily think. However, I do think they are connected. And by that, because the Illuminati obviously are the individuals that maintain the information for the mystery schools. Because whether, like I said, they are worthy of that knowledge anymore or not, because of the way that wealth has been passed down from society, or has been passed down from generation to generation in our current society, they may not be worthy of that knowledge anymore like their ancestors were, but they are still the holders of that knowledge, and the holders, therefore, of the power. So they would definitely be part of the Illuminati, and maybe as they work their way through the rungs of the Bohemian School, they get higher and higher up in that pyramid that makes up the entire structure of the Illuminati. I'd say, like, they're, like, higher than the CIA, but not the top guys.
So let's say the lowest, and this is just me fucking around. So we've got the Illuminati, which is a triangle, okay? The lowest, Kanye. Beyonce.
No.
So you don't think celebrities are the lowest? I would say the lowest would be the celebrities, and then it would go up to, like,
I think
officials.
they are tools. I think
you
the
don't
celebrities
think
are tools of the Illuminati, but I don't think they are.
They'd be in this triangle at all?
No, I think they're tools, simply. Like, that's my
So there's,
belief.
like, because
because
there's
they
low,
are from those families. Like, if you look at the
Right.
celebrities, like, okay, Nicolas Cage is in the fucking, what's his face family? Oh, what is, Francis Ford Coppola. Okay, Nicolas Cage is a fucking Coppola. Fucking Drew Barrymore is a Barrymore. Her grandfather was in the movies in the 30s, okay? So, like, yes, they're part of the structure, but I think they are, like, the circus part of the structure. They're not in the Illuminati themselves. They're tools.
Can they
the
get
Illuminati
into
use.
the Illuminati, you think? Because, like I'm going to use the argument's sake, Beyonce, she's Oprah. Let's do Oprah. She's so rich. She's so powerful. She was a celebrity at first, but she has obviously worked her way. Do you think she would be working her way up?
Is a diamond-encrusted hammer any more of a tool than a regular hammer?
That would be less of a tool. Well...
It's a prettier tool, and that's about it, right? So it's a showy tool, but it's still a tool you use. Are you going to sleep with... Are you going to bring into your room full of pillows? Are you going to bring a jewel-encrusted hammer? Doesn't really belong. It's still just your tool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see it. No offense to Oprah, although I don't like Oprah. No offense to Oprah. I'm not, like, comparing you to a hammer or whatever. I would compare you to a hammer. That would have been funnier. But my point being just, like, they are tools. They are tools that the Illuminati use.
Do you think they get benefits from the Illuminati if they're tools?
Well, look at their lives.
What
that
the
is
fuck?
the benefit.
I'm a dumbass.
But no, you're not.
Like, that was so obvious.
It was just a setup. It was a great setup for me to be like, yeah, they get, like, look at their lives. That is the benefit. Like, they are a tool for the Illuminati. But, like, why would you... Okay, so they are satisfied with what you've given them as your tool. They think that they're at the top anyway.
Right.
So why are you going to give them more? Why are you going to make a space on your fucking spaceship to go to the next Earth that we're going to corrupt because we ruined this one? Why are you going to make a space for your tool on that when you would have a space for your useless grandchildren?
I'm very excited that we're doing this episode right now after Cat Williams. Is that his name?
Oh, he just came out
with that interview. Yeah,
yes.
So I feel like this is perfect time to do this episode, honestly.
But you know what? Because what he was saying goes along with my beliefs, honestly, because he was like, you know, this one they give this wife, this one they give this one they give that, and you know, to get that they have to give this up. And like, actually, it's funny because after Corey had watched that and Roz wasn't around for it, Roz had come in, she was talking to me, and she started talking about like rap before the CIA got involved, and then I was the one that let her know, like, Tupac's mama worked for the CIA, and so Tupac was one of the artists that... Don't cancel me, y'all. That's just facts.
Look,
I hate it too. My favorite musicians were just CIA players.
If we want to go further back to the 60s and the 70s...
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Were they plants or were they killed by the government? That's the question.
Okay, you're talking about the 27 Club. I'm talking about something different.
No,
so
I'm not talking about the 27 Club.
So who are you talking about?
I'm referring to, like, let's say Leonard Skinner. Was it Leonard Skinner? Who was it?
Somebody died in a plane crash.
Yes, plane crash. You know what I mean?
But not
and
all
what
of them
were their
died.
songs about?
But, like, the 27 Club is so many of those musicians died at 27.
Right,
like
right.
Jimi Hendrix.
And what were their songs about?
Janis Joplin. But here's the thing. I don't know if all of them, but, like, a lot of that whole generation of musicians, what their songs were about was what the CIA told them to have their songs about. Even the ones about... Yes!
Anti-war? Doing drugs?
This is why I was, like, crying. Yes, they wanted us to try LSD. It was a whole fucking government conspiracy. This is why I was, like, fake crying a minute ago. Because this was my entire fucking teenagehood, my childhood music, my everything. And then I found out that it was just the government programming my motherfucking brain.
I would think that the government
I would think that too, but you're...
kill the people wanting to do anti-war.
Nope. They had... It was... Okay, so I've actually been thinking about this a lot, and I didn't think we'd be talking about this in this episode, but since you brought that up, it's the government purposefully creates things to divide us. So they choose a faction of people that they want this specific thing advertised to. With this community, it was through these rap artists. With this community, it was through these artists that promoted psychedelic LSD and mushroom usage for expanding your brain. And then the government comes in with the war on drugs. And now you see these people as lesser people. And so all those things that they're saying about our communities aren't treated right, our government starts war elsewhere. Now the majority of the population sees them as crackpots, even though they are the ones spouting the truth.
Now,
there's an actual fucking
would that be what the fuck they're talking about at Bohemian Grove?
Probably. That's probably exactly like the
Bringing
fucking
it
shit
right
they're
back
coming.
around.
Well, because think about it, artists and musicians. That's why I was very like sure to throw in artists, because artists and musicians are also there with the elites. That are at Bohemian Grove, and they are part of those same plans that are happening at Bohemian Grove, because our government don't give no shits about fucking us. They just want to use us as fodder for their machines until our bones are
for
dust.
their war machine.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I really want to sing the fucking song, but I don't know if YouTube will let me. Generals gathered in their masses.
Generals gathered in their masses like witches.
I know. I love that song so much.
I was like, wait a minute. I have to say the whole thing to know what comes next.
But seriously, evil mindset, plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. Literally.
Seriously. You're just another brick in the wall.
That's a different song.
Oh, no, I know.
Oh, okay.
I like Pink Floyd way more than Ozzy.
I like Ozzy more, but I grew up with Ozzy.
No, I grew up with Pink Floyd. It's
right,
my dad's literal favorite band, and I was listening to Pink Floyd on my way to get you earlier.
You were?
Yes, I was. Yeah. I love Pink Floyd. That's great.
I love it.
Love Pink Floyd. But it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And I want to know, like, what do you guys think? Do you think we're crazy? Do you think Bohemian Grove is crazy? Like,
do you think it's just a bunch of men getting together, like, I fucking hate my wife, I'm gonna get drunk and have sex with you? Like, cause...
I think that happens too, though. I really do.
Do you think it's both? Do you think it's theory situation? I shouldn't even call it my theory, because I know that theory is out there. So do you think it's that kind of situation? Do you think it's sadistic? Do you think it's merely sinister? Do you think it's merely nefarious and not sinister or sadistic? Or do you think it's
just fucking really, like, at face value what it is? A bunch of dudes who get together to do witchcraft to clear their conscience about all the bad shit they've done.
And they know, or they do witchcraft because they know somebody's like looking, like they're like, oh shit, Alex Jones is here. Okay, we're gonna do some crazy shit, so nobody interrupts us again because we're having a good ass vacation. Like,
I mean, Bill Clinton was there. Like, I could see.
I'm sorry, you're further proving my.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, oh wait, no, not that one. No, because saxophone. No, don't take away from me the one good thing. Oh my God, you said the name.
You said the name. We don't.
But he was there in the video. He's in the video. Like, he's in the video. That is well-known public knowledge, and we're not talking about other things right now, like an evil woman.
Just evil mindset, plot destruction.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just there's so many different thought processes, like thought trains you can take going to and from Bohemian Grove, and we want to know what is yours. So if you're watching on YouTube, definitely tell us in the comments, because when you comment, when you like, when you subscribe, when you share, it helps our algorithm.
Yes, and a huge shout out to Death by DVD.
And Pam.
Melissa.
Victoria.
Thanks for being our patrons. If you're interested in supporting us, check out our Patreon, which will be in the description.
No, we don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore. I realized as did you hear me like slow down?
I know, I was like, shit, I don't want to like.
I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure we're not doing that because
it upped our views.
YT, like they want to like, anyway.
Well, not just
look
YT,
us up.
But,
look us up.
Yeah, which is Talking Tarot on all of the everythings except for the X.
Speaking of Elon.
Right? Fuck that guy. We're still there as of now, and we are classiest witches there because we are the classiest witches you know.
You're going to have to go over like the whole Patreon thing with All right. Well, thank you for coming and sitting with us for a spell.
In the Bohemian Grove. I'm sorry I couldn't resist.